Morning, comrades. Hope everyone's doing great. We're here to talk about Bright Memory. So if you don't know what Bright Memory is, it is this fucking amazing first-person shooter in the style of Shadow Warrior. And if you don't know what Shadow Warrior is, bro, go find Shadow Warrior. There's 3 of them. They're fucking awesome. They are first-person shooters that are in like the genre of, what do the nerds call it? Boomer shooters or something? Like Doom. Right? I think the first one came out pretty like in the 80s even. And but they involve, you can use guns, you have like a sword, sometimes you got like magic stuff. They're very like Chinese oriented, and they're so good. And so this person, well, I don't know the exact developmental cycle, but there's this guy, Chinese guy, I don't know, he goes by like FQYD Studios, but his name's like Shangbao Dao or something like that. And he like put together this game, this first-person shooter that was almost more like a Soulsborne shooter. And what is it called? Remnant of Ashes, I think, is the game that kind of did the same thing, where it's like you have guns and stuff. And so you have 2. I'm trying to remember here. I think you start with. Do you get 3 guns? Because there's like initially this person was gonna like make an episodic like first-person shooter game. And then it stars this like sexy Chinese girl, which is fucking fantastic. And she looks kind of like you can tell like you can kind of like you can whiff the influences, right? So there's like Shadow Warrior. The first game's like Remnant of Ashes or like a Dark Souls game, right? In that, and it even makes a reference at some point in the demo. And they call it like the demo now, but originally it was like episode 1. So in episode 1. And it's janky as shit, and like the graphics, like there was like this weird lighting effect that kept like jacking up my screen and stuff. But you would like get experience from things, use those experience to like level up all these different talents. Like you have like a light sword which can like shoot rays. You get like your pistol, assault rifle, and I think you get shotgun in the first one if I remember correctly. Right, and then you have like you can like run on. Okay, I don't know if you can run on walls. You can like double jump, and there's like some puzzle action and stuff. And it's very Tomb Raider-y-ish, as in like you go and you're collecting like these relics, and the relics have like Chinese references and stuff like that. Like it was dope, and the whole story was like you're like this. It seems like you're a treasure hunter, and you work with this guy Wake or whatever, and then you're like going along, and then you're at odds with like I think his name's General Lin. And his like crew, so you have like the super soldiers, or not even super soldiers, you just have like futuristic soldiers, and so you're fighting them, and then like some crazy shit happens, and now you're in like a different world essentially, and so you're like trying to find something, and you're like teleporting in and out of this world, and then in the other world there's like monsters and like skeleton monsters and stuff like that. And it was really hard, and then you got a couple bosses, and everyone's got like life, you know, and you can like dodge and do all this stuff. It was really hard to get this thing working on my computer at first, because I had to download like a whole separate thing because it would like not recognize my PlayStation 5 controller. And so I had to like, I just had to get like a totally different app. It's like what was it called? It was like something, which let me put keybind, just like random keys, so I could like, you know, essentially I'm playing with a keyboard, but I transposed it all over to like a controller. I guess if you have an Xbox controller, it would just like automatically do it, or probably just like a more generic controller. But for some reason the PlayStation, because it has like a microphone or something. Anyway, so it was pretty. I imagine if the controller actually worked correctly, it would not be so hard, because I'm like. Like I had to like do all this weird stuff, and then like to turn around was pretty slow, and I was trying to like figure out how to make that go quicker, but because essentially I want you to, you know, the game's thinking I have a mouse, but I'm just using the analog stick on the PlayStation 5 controller to like move around or whatever. Anyway, still great. It was still fun. It was like cool, and it leaves like this cliffhanger at the end, because it was like the whole thing's like you're in like this tunnel, and you fight like these giant like demon monster characters, and you fight like these other guys, and I don't know, it was like good times. And I was like, oh, that's dope. And so apparently what happened after that was that this guy got a lot of investment money, right? Because he made a fucking amazing game. Like one guy made this like super great game that was like thoroughly enjoyable, even though it was kind of janky. And you know, it's like called back to like Shadow Warrior, and like it crushed it out, and like it was super fun. And so he kind of had like he like remade the game. Instead of doing like episodic, instead of doing like episode 2, he was just like, no, I'm just gonna make like a full game. And then this motherfucker did it. Like this ain't no erotic visual novel developer gets a bunch of money after releasing like season 1 or like episode 1 of like their steamy incest MILF simulator or whatever, and then just like nopes out and just like milks those like pay piggies who forget they have like Patreon money coming in. Like, they're going out of their fucking wallets. All right, no, this guy like put it together, like finished the fucking game. And it's dope. Like it is totally different. It's not well, yeah, it's pretty totally different. It's much more Shadow Warrior. Like all the kind of Soulsborne stuff just gets like thrown out the window. You can pick up like relics, and the relics can help you like increase the power of some of your like abilities and whatnot. The game is super short. I think I beat it in like 2 hours, to be honest. Like on easy mode, obviously, because you know, like journalist mode. But it has like a bunch of difficulty modes, so I can imagine like this game was still pretty tough on easy mode, not gonna lie. So I could see this being like a real challenge for some of you hardcore guys. If you played Shadow Warrior back in the day, like you should play this game. It is so fucking good. So the main character is named Sheila, and she works for the SRO, which is some government organization in China that does something. And when the game starts off, she's in her apartment, just like fireworks are going off and stuff. And then she gets a call from Director Chen, and he's like, "Oh hey, you're watching the news. There's like some talks about like these crazy weather patterns, or like a hurricane off the coast of Shanghai, or wherever she lives." And they need to go investigate it because it's causing a lot of problems. And the fireworks show has to be like canceled for like whatever Chinese New Year thing's going on. And so she goes. And then the version I have, which is like the full GOG version, has all like the DLC. And the DLC is just like sexy outfits. Like you got sexy Chinese outfit, red and white. You got like, well, the demo had some like sexy outfits too. It was like schoolgirl uniform. But the Sheila in this is way more like sexy. But you know, it's like Chinese sexy, right? Because it's not Korean sexy or like Japanese. So it's still very modest, but like you compared it, this game came out in like 2000 time frame, and you look at some of the fucking games in the West that were coming out in this game, and you're like, what the fuck, man? This is amazing. And that's part of the reason I got a bunch of money. And so again, dummies who don't want to make money do make bad decisions and complain about it online, while Chad Chinese man like makes a game with like a pretty girl in it, and she's not even that sexy, throws in some sexy outfits, and like, you know, runs away with $1 million or millions of bucks. So good for him. Anyway, so she heads off to take care of that, and immediately she runs into like General Lin's men. And, you know, we fight. We learn about all this stuff. It drops a lot of the, like, instead of having like a bunch of different kind of like tiger monster and bat monster and all the monsters, it has like just like undead. So it's like shield undead guy, and the game's tight. Like it's not just like, oh, here's some random shield guy. It's like you have 4 weapons now. So you start off with assault rifle, but then the assault rifle has like tracer rounds, and then you can get a shotgun, and the shotgun has like fire rounds, and then you get a pistol later. And the pistol has, and these are like alternative modes that you have to get like extra ammo for. It plays just like a boomer shooter, like a Shadow Warrior. You just pick up ammo on the ground. The only difference is you don't pick up health. You just like, if you can like dodge away enough and keep away from getting hit, you'll just automatically recharge your health. And I'm assuming like it does that a lot less depending on the difficulty. On easy mode, you just kind of got to like run around and pray to God that you don't get like hit by some random thing you're not paying attention to, and then you'll heal up pretty quick. Like I said, again, I still died, like not regularly, but on occasion, especially for like the big bosses and their big arenas. Oftentimes because they would like, I would be like, oh shit, the guy hit me with like a real hard thing, and so I'd like dodge back, and then be kind of like trying to stay out of sight, and then they'd start summoning like ads, and then fuck, and then like because I wouldn't see him, or like there'd be like like an archer ad, and it would like hit me. Anyway, so then there's the, I think it's like, and you can upgrade these things. So it's like tracer rounds for the assault rifle. I think it's an incendiary grenade for the shotgun. Then they call it I think it's just like a shrapnel grenade for the pistol. And then the sniper rifle gets, what's it called? It gets like a sticky grenade. There's like a term for it. Anyway, it's a sticky grenade, so you can switch that over, then you can snipe people, and you hit them, and it goes and it goes boom, but it sticks to them. Okay, and then each one of those things is like very useful in different circumstances, right? So each of the different bad guys. So like the futuristic warriors have like baton, like electric baton guy who like dances around. They got shotgun guy, sniper guy, regular assault rifle guy. They got homie with like a riot shield, and that's that guy. Fuck that guy. He's the worst. He's so hard. That guy killed me more than like bosses did. Or not like, it's not one guy, it's like several guys. You got, oh shit, there's like another guy with like this, yes, something else, like, I'm trying to remember. I want to say like an axe, like an electric axe or something. Anyway, and then the monsters, you got like shield monster, you got regular sword or regular axe monster, you got bow and arrow, and the monsters are just kind of like undead looking dudes. Let's see. I think those are, yeah, it only has, there's like one more I'm not thinking of. And then they have like bigger monsters. You have like double axe, like winged, like almost like a Tengu monster guy. They got these like lion statue things that come to life, like the Chinese lion. What else am I missing? And there's a couple other like bigger like bruiser guys. One with like a big axe, I want to say. And then they got these like huge like bosses in these big boss arenas, and they like stomp around and do stuff, and they got like different, like you kill a guy and then he stands back up, and there's like part 2, so it does bring that kind of like Dark Souls-y like aspect to it as well. But I feel like that's like an older thing as well. It's not even like a Dark Souls thing. It's like the boss that like, all right, now part 2, like hooray. And the nice thing about this game is it doesn't like fuck you over on easy mode at least. So like if you get past part 1, it just starts you in part 2, and it's like, oh thank God. And then you pick up relics throughout the land and use those relics to like level up. You also get like these blue like experience points or whatever from killing like the monsters, but I don't think I ever used them. So I don't know what the point of that was. The game like explained it, and I just assumed it was part of like, okay, well I need to pick up these like relics off the ground and then I kill these guys for like experience points. But then that never like manifested. So I must have just missed out on something that would make the game slightly easier. You got the light sword still, which you can upgrade to do like an attack, like when you swing it, it's a ranged attack, like a Legend of Zelda. And then you can you got the. So part of the hard part of the insanity with the control scheme from the part 1, or the demo, if you will, was that you have like all these abilities, like an ability that pushes, an ability that pulls, an ability that like grapples, an ability that does this and that, and they were all different buttons. So I'm like pressing like the PlayStation button and stuff to like, I'm like mapping all this stuff to try to get like, and like the D-pad so I can use all these abilities, because the game, you know, when it's like walking you through the tutorial, especially at the beginning, it's like you have to use each one of these things. But then when the actual game, like the Infinite version, it was like you just press this one button for like everything that's not like directly fighting, and I was like, thank you God. Like, it's like so much easier. Like, oh goodness. Okay, so as much as I had no problems playing this, like the Infinite mode. All right, so was I. So yeah, then there's not much of a story. It's just kind of like you're killing through stuff. There's like a black hole in the sky, and then you're just like kill, and like Dr. Chen or Director Chen keeps talking to you about stuff, and you're trying to figure stuff out. And there's Wake's around, and Wake, like in the episode 1, is just like he's like a presence more than anything else. Like he flies a helicopter a couple times, drops off like this fucking radical like James Bond style like Alfa Romeo that you drive around in like this fucking jungle. It's like raining, and it has like a rocket launcher on it. I was like, this game is so fucking dope. Like I have no words. Like this guy knows exactly what people want to play, because this is freaking fantastic. Okay. So you just and so there's no, you don't go to different worlds, like the monsters show up, and so you're just in like kind of like rural China, and so you get like there's like Chinese aesthetics and stuff, but like kind of old-timey Chinese stuff and windows and lanterns and stuff out and about, and you move around. There's like one stealth section which was actually okay, mostly because it was really short, where you just have to sneak up on guys, and like you get like it does a fine job, like honestly. Like if it was more part of this game, I would be upset, but because it was like this tiny little section, it's really not that hard to get through. In the game, like the autosave is like, it's like anytime you do anything, it like autosaves, but it doesn't autosave like anytime you get through like a little zone, right? But it's like every little zone. It's not like, oh, you got to get through this huge thing where there's like all these guys. It's like each like arena battle, like it autosaves afterwards, or each like section of the stealth section where it's like, this guy like knows how to fucking make games. Like he should instead of being a solo developer, he should be in charge of like Ubisoft and be like, no. Like he should be walking around with the devs and like fire the entire HR department, and just like when people do stupid shit that infuriates playing, like, makes the game so much more, like, stupid to play. He should just have, like, a ruler, and he should just slap people's wrists and be like, fuck no. That's not how you make a game, right? This guy, man, fucking genius. He has another game coming up at some point. I guess it just got announced this year, so I will keep an eye out. He's, like, doing this by himself, so, like, in 2030. We'll see how this game goes, but, I mean, so far, like, this guy's just, like, crushing it. Okay, so yeah, Sheila. Okay, so you go through, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything specific. There's at some point that General Lin like shows up and it's just like it's you versus like his men. You get like knocked out at some point, but then you like roll off. Oh, it's mostly like set pieces. Like that's the thing, right? Like the game is just like I'm going to figure out what's going on. Oh, so first at some point you get to like this like big Chinese like temple. And there's this guy with a mask, and he's like, oh, I will destroy you. I am bringing, like, the rain and the pain and all this stuff. And so he taunts you, and then you fight him. And this, you know, he's got, like, two forms. But after you beat the second form, he, like, laughs and is like, meet me at the temple on top of mountain, whatever. Mountain Faijin or something. And then he, like, nopes out of there. And so you chase him some more. And then, yeah, you get the car scene. There's a scene where it's like, you're, like, on the mountain, and you get to, like, the other mountain. And there's occasionally, and this comes up before here, too. Sheila will just point out that there's like planes being drawn to like this black hole in the sky over this mountain, and then at some point it's like you're standing on the mountain and you see like a plane flying by, and you're like, oh cool, and so you grapple onto this fucking plane that's flying at this like black hole, and it's like on fire, and then like there's like some of General Lin's men like jump on this thing, so you're like killing dudes on like the plane wing, and then you jump to like another plane. I was like, this is fucking amazing. And the car driving was cool too. Again, it's like all set pieces, right? It's like the stealth thing was cool. It was quick and short. Then you like fight, climb around, fight some more, kill some more dudes, fight in another arena, fight like a boss monster. And then it's like, you want to drive a car? And you're like, sure. And so you drive that around, and that wasn't annoying. It was just like you chase some dudes and like blow them up with your rocket launcher, and you do some jumps and stuff. And then you like, I think do you go from the car to the plane? No. Whoa, maybe you do. Anyway, so then you're in like the plane and like this is dope, and then you're like, you know, do some more, and then you're doing some mountain climbing, and at some point you're like in a cavern and you're running through there. Oh no, you're driving through the cavern, and it's like collapsing around you, and it's just like, this is badass, man. This is like Call of Duty, like the good Call of Duty, like the original Modern Warfare and like the first couple of Black Ops games. Well, I would say most Black Ops games up to Black Ops 7, which I couldn't play because they made it stupid. Because again, FQYD needs to get over there with his ruler and just slap people's wrists and be like, don't make it a co-op game, you dumb shits. Like, people want to play single player games. Stop being assholes. So yeah, it was all dope as shit. And then you finally get to like the final boss, and it's like the huge arena, and it's the mask guy again, and so you fight him kind of like you fought him before, but now he's like tougher and faster. And then once you beat him, his like mask comes to life, and there's a whole thing about how, again, he's like coming to this dimension to like spread the darkness of the rain or some crazy shit. That does not get further explained. It's so good. And so then you get to fight Giant Him, and he's like summoning dudes, and he was hard. And the dudes he summoned wasn't like other guys this time. He has like an eagle and a snake, and then he has a giant bell, and he'll like trap you in the bell with the snake, and like the snake will like shoot poison at you and shit, and the eagle's like flying around, and he does a super. It's a fucking amazing like battle. Like, it was so good. I was like, god damn, how's he gonna top this? And he's not, because that was the last boss. And I was like, what a fucking great game. And so then after you blast your way through that guy, there's like this hourglass thing that's like floating around, and so Sheila like very carefully like wanders up and is about to grab it, but then she gets shot, and it's like, oh no, now she's on the ground, and General Lin rolls up some of his goons, and he's like, he picks up the hourglass thing, and he's like, oh, ha, ha, you dumbasses, and do what I want, blah, blah, blah. And then Wake shows up in like the helicopter that he dropped off the car in, and blasts some of General Lin's men, and then it gives you time to like get your ass up as Sheila and like charge him. And so you hit General Lin from behind, and then he lets go of the hourglass thing, and it crashes in the ground, and the whole world turns bright white, right? Bright memory, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the bright memory, like in the story was much more like kind of being developed in the first game, and this guy's like, you know what? People just want to play this fucking game and see a hot Chinese girl like kill the shit out of a bunch of stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do, and it's like, bravo. Like that is what we wanted. So let's see, bright memory. think that's it. Oh no, okay. And then Sheila like wakes back up, and it's like Chinese New Year again. All the fireworks are going off, and it's like, did she go back in time? What's going on with all this? And then she wakes up and looks at the news, and instead of the news being about like this crazy weather or whatever, it's like, oh, an asteroid hit like this area, and they're like cratered, and then people, there was like, they went there, and it was like this huge like civilization looking thing like was lying here. And then she sees the mask that the bad guy was wearing, like the boss monster guy was wearing, that transformed into like a giant monster just in the ground, and she's got like a little smirk on her face, and it's like the end. And I was like, huh. That's pretty good, not gonna lie. Like both experiences were good. Infinite, the kind of like completed game, I did enjoy that a lot better, because it's just the gameplay was tight and everything worked out really well. The story in like the demo was more interesting, and in that it was like leading somewhere. Well, the story in Infinite was kind of like, oh no, who's this Shenlong guy? Some asshole. He's causing problems, and we gotta go take care of this thing. And there's like this guy who's trying to bring like destruction on the world, but like, and then there's this hourglass that I guess took him back in time and like ruined his plans when it got destroyed, and the end. So I was like, okay, cool. So that's Bright Memory. It is highly recommended to play if you like first-person shooters at all. If you played like Shadow Warrior, or if are you into like older style games, first-person shooters, and this is like right up your alley, I would say. The only thing that's gonna like irk you, I guess, if you're like a purist, is the fact that your health just like heals. But like graphics are great. It's fun to play. I think it crashed once, which was super impressive for like an Unreal Engine game on Linux, to be completely honest. I kind of found like a lot of workarounds to make that stuff work better, but still, like virtually no problems. And I think I crashed it. Like it wasn't even like the game crashed. It was like I was trying to get the game to pause for a second, and I forgot I didn't have pause like mapped to the controller, and so I was just like hitting like a function like a bunch of times, being like, why isn't this working? And then it stopped working altogether, and I was like, oh, that was probably on me. But there you go, Bright Memory and Bright Memory Infinite, fucking fantastic. So normally next week we would get back to the Atelier series, but for some reason on my schedule I set up to play this like janky like Hero Quest game for like the Nintendo Entertainment System, I think. So we'll see how that goes. I might just like forgo. We'll see if it's like not much. Like I read something about it being like a prototype or something. Like, so if it's like a full game, we'll like go through it and talk about it and show some pictures and stuff or video of it. But we'll see. So go ahead, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.